Inmate at Merrimack County, New Hampshire Department of Correction.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Brown, or good evening, Mr. Brown. How are you doing, sir?
Another day, sir.
I know.
I'm scheduled for the 29th.
Yes, that's what I heard. The 29th of September, they're going to have a hearing. I hope they set you free that day.
Yeah, me too. A lot depends on a lot of things. But I think they're going to anyway. I don't think there's no reason why they can have, no way they can hold me lawfully, but that doesn't make any difference to these guys. You know, Rudy, I've been studying this stuff now for a long time. And the deeper I go into it, I'm getting more comfortable with all of it. The United States, of course, is already gone. You understand that?
Yep.
Can you believe that?
Yep.
They actually took it on the books, right under our noses. It is this crazy cartel that you keep hearing me talk about all the time. It is them. There's nobody else. You can't find anybody else at all. And as the little pieces of information just keep coming at me, it just keeps confirming and reconfirming and again and again and again. So we're down to, Vatican, Germany, England, Switzerland, of course, when you say Germany and the Vatican in the United States. The other countries are secondary to all of this. Because as you narrow it down from those points there, you get into Freemasonry, Bilderbergers, and all that sort of thing. You can see where the Rothschild dynasty had took them over with Albert Pike back in 1783. That's on the record. So when I said Zionist, Communist, Freemasons now control Washington, D.C., that is it. That is the problem. But Zionist, Communist, and Freemasonry is all controlled by this one cartel out of Europe. Of course, that's the Khazar. So I think what we need to do is we need to have people start looking more at this and looking up more on this Khazar information. Khazar. For themselves. Let them prove it to themselves what's really going on here. Let them connect the dots for themselves instead of as me, guys like me jamming them all the time. It's there. It's in the encyclopedias. It's in your dictionaries. It's not in your dictionaries. It's all taken out. But it is on your website and it is in your encyclopedias. And if you go back and study that thing, then you're going to know what's going on. The process that we're operating under and why guys like Yuri Call can't get out of prison is because Yuri has not identified himself because he does not understand, as most Americans, who they are as citizens, what has been happened to them as citizens in this country. And this whole conversation about expatriation and renunciation and rescission, citizenship is all true because of what they've done to us. We're finding it out now. We are beneficiaries to these accounts. We are called creditor beneficiaries. We are American and national, well, not even national. We're American sovereigns of the state. We're national only as the states all come together. The several states form that union. That's the de jure government. But sadly, even with the Treaty of Verona back at the end of the Revolutionary period, they made a treaty with England for England to own this country still. And we were never told this stuff year after year after year. But it's all true. And of course England owns them. So I say, well, how is this going to help us today? Well, if you don't know your history, you don't know who you're fighting, you got nowhere to go. If you don't know what the process is, you've got nowhere to go. And the process is commercial law. Every single court operates under Vice Admiralty, under UCC, which came from the Vatican, by a section of the Vatican called UNIDROIT, UNIDROIT. UNIDROIT actually holds the papers for this country through England and the English treaty and stuff. Again, now it has to be focused just on that area right there so people can pay attention to it and then start to make it their own. I don't know what else to do. I'm still stuck in here.
Yep.
At least another month.
I wish they would let they got these stupid rules. They always got these stupid rules, but about not letting felons communicate with one another. But I think a lot of the information that you have would be good to get in the hands of other people stuck in prison, right? Like Yori and Russell Anders with the Montana Freeman and others. But they've banned
Well,
me,
I'm
right?
working on that.
They banned me by name. If I try to send anything to certain prisons, they just throw it away or they return it, saying that yeah.
Here's how they can find out. Have them or somebody send them a letter and get them those little books I told you about that you got for me.
Yeah.
Those books.
Yeah.
Have them get those books. They have to have those books. Have them get those books.
Yeah.
No other book has mattered to them right now. Guys like Yuri especially, he never did nothing.
Right. Yeah, 38 years. 38 years is a long time. You've been in prison a long time, but 38 years for Yori.
Yeah,
I mean, that's...
he's 38 years. I mean, his whole life has been in prison.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
Right.
And no one's working on the right way. Everybody's running out, wanting to be helpful and all, but they're not working on it the right way. They have to understand this whole process here, this UCC law. It's not as hard as everybody thinks. It's in that little books I said to you for $20, $25 with a dictionary, $35. They need that dictionary to go with it. That Strawman book and those other books. I mean, even some of the COs in here, they see it and they think, Jesus, I heard about this stuff before. And that's what, there it is. Everybody knows. That's why I'm getting more relaxed. I mean, I know that everybody knows, but they just don't want to talk. Nobody wants to talk about it. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I've already done, actually. I have become, because there is nobody representing the Constitution, common law, union republics, the de jure form of government. They only represent the corporation, the United States Incorporated. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't find anybody that's representing the United States of America Union Republics. I've contacted the U.S. Attorney's Office, Inspector General, Provost Marshal, JAG from the Navy side, State Department, and they just ignore it because they all know what's going on. They know what I'm talking about. Well, it's not my station, so I thank you for your cooperation, thank you for your assistance, and blah, blah, blah. That's all. It's redundant betting letters and stuff they give you. So now, because I am a USC Ranger, created by Continental Congress 244 years ago, I am an ambassador already. So what I'm going to do, and I've done, sent it out already, is I've become a plenipotentiary, or an ambassador plenipotentiary. It's in the dictionary. PLENIPOTENTIARY, potentiary. And then, as an ambassador now, you better talk to me. There's nobody else. And the process that we have to be using, instead of going to courts and stuff, you can't go to their courts. Every single court is an admiralty court. Why are you getting an attorney? You've got to learn this stuff yourself. Well, I don't know how to. Yes, you do. You're lazy. They made you stupid and lazy. Stop it, America. Start reading the right thing, and you're going to save yourself a whole lot of time, years and decades of your life, and fortunes in your pocket. The truth is, when you read the laws and you read what they put up together, you don't have to pay a mortgage. You know that when you get your mortgage in your house, it's already paid for the day you get it under their system. And if you are a United States of America Union Republic of one of the states, separate case C citizen, your mortgage is paid the day you get it. This is not pie in the sky. Guys like Leroy Schweitzer were on the right track. He just got stupid. He went too fast without learning the little fine details. Every time I have a question, I stop for that entire process, and I look further and closer. Now I stop when I hit the Board of Governors of the states. I thought they were the state, the Board of Governors. No, it's got nothing to do with the states. Board of Governors for the Federal Reserve is what it is. For the International Monetary Fund, for the banking system. This is the things that people have to know and to learn. Not the stuff that they keep feeding you. Oh, fight for America, red, white, blue, brown, apple pie. No. You got to understand the law. I know you don't understand law. I mean, I was where you were. I didn't know anything about anything with the law 13 years ago. I went in there, walking in there with an attitude that these people are wrong. I knew part of it, but I didn't know enough of this stuff. I didn't know procedure. And once you understand procedure, everything starts to get easier again. Yuri's got to get out of there. They've got to let him go. How old is he now?
I think he's 61, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. Come on, guys. What was he, about 18 years old?
I think he was in this, like 21 or something.
Well, come on. That's enough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey,
Yeah, he's got the first priority.
Yeah. Yori and Scott Fall both. Scott Fall's been in there 38 years too, and it's both. Scott Fall, he turned himself in. He didn't shoot anybody, and he turned himself in the next day. And just because he was in the same car as Gordon Call, Yori Von Call and Scott Fall, both of those men have been in prison 38 years, and they're both strong Christian men. You know, they both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, Rudy, understand this too, and everybody's got to understand this. This so-called people in Washington, D.C. are not the government at all. Period. Flat out. Cold hard facts on the record by their own words and their own acts and stuff that they have passed. They are not the government.
Yeah.
They are what they call a de facto government. They have a government in fact, but they're not the lawful government. They are a de facto government. They all know it. Every damn one. Hey, look at even guys who I loved dearly, which was Ron Paul, right?
Yeah.
He knew it. But why didn't he bring it out and tell everybody?
Right.
What is this thing about, well, when people die, you're going to die anyway, so what?
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you there. Yep. Yep. You mentioned Leroy Schwartzer with the Montana Freeman. He has a guy that was also a Montana Freeman named Russell Landers. He's in a CMU prison in Terre Haute, Indiana, which is I was banned. But Russell contacted us one time, and we put one phone call out that he's a very friendly, very articulate guy, and he speaks a lot like you do. I wish you guys could talk because I bet you have a lot in common. But they put him in prison, and his release date is 2045. He's already been in prison 23 years, so he's still got like 23 years to go, or maybe 25 years to go. What I'm trying to...
None of this stuff is going to last much longer. They're starting to make their move now. They're getting ready because they know what's coming up. They know that the country's waking up to what they're doing. They know it's foreign national crap.
Yeah.
All these guys are just there, all bluster and huff and puff, and they're like the Wizard of Oz thing, you know. It's just a boo-boo man behind the curtain crap. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. You don't elect anybody when you go to vote. That's a lie. They elect anybody that they want to put in a position. On the most part, they would never put in someone like Ron Paul. But so Ron Paul gets in, but that means for the 25 or 35 guys out of the 300 that get by them, the rest of them are all theirs. So that's why we've had all these problems especially since the 1933.
Yeah.
It all started in 1930. Well, it all started back in the Revolutionary War, but it's a longer story. The short story is 1933. They were already incorporated from 1871 from the Civil War. We're under martial law still to this day. We've never been let off martial law. All the people have been declared alien enemies of the United States in the 1917 Treaty with the Enemies Act. So if we're their enemies of the United States, then what the hell are we sitting there talking to them for, giving them anything for? What are we, stupid? Yeah, we are. We've been stupid because we are stubborn. Good old arrogant Americans, man. We know everything. We don't know jack from squat. It's time we slowed down and paid attention and started talking to each other, not talking at each other. We have the information. It's out there. It's available. Everybody can get it. Nobody seems to be stopping them from getting it. So I always look for the plan within the plan. Is it because it's a trap or it's a trick? No, it's not.
Well, I'll say this. When you say nobody's stopping them from getting it, you mentioned the Khazarians, Zionists, Communists, Freemason. I heard you mention the word Vatican. The social media.
You can get all this information.
You can get it, but but the big social media platforms that we have, which is YouTube and Facebook and Google and Twitter. I mean, all of those platforms. If you use any of those keywords, they immediately censor you. I mean, we're living in so you have to go to alternative platforms. So it keeps the numbers the numbers very small.
Because again, I've been away from it for 13 years. I don't know what's going on with the internet.
Yeah.
But I'm anxious to get back to it at any rate. because I have a lot of contacts out there, but none of them are going to talk to me while I'm in here.
Let me share this story. Let me share this quick story. So Pastor Broden in his Sunday service, the title of his sermon was Trust God and Don't Take the Vaccine, because they're going to push a vaccine for this COVID thing. The very next Sunday, they wouldn't let his sermon go out anymore. They censored his sermon. They censored his live stream, so he can't even put his sermon out live anymore.
He has to take them to court.
Yeah.
Not to the courts that we have. If the courts have gone, all of the courts of de facto government, they're all corporations. They all belong to this cartel out of Europe. All of them do, including the state and the county courts as well, and the sheriff's departments for the most part, all privatized and incorporated. Everything in this country has been privatized and incorporated now. Okay, so we have to deal with that. So it was left open to us in the 15 statutes at large the day before the 14th Amendment was passed, the very day before. So it's available to you to get out of it and be returned to the Republic. That makes you the creditor, be a beneficiary of all of those counts of that national debt of 24 or 38 or 188 $trillion. It doesn't mean you're going to get all that. It just means to say that your portion of it there has already been taken care of through your labor over the years. That's why you can get your mortgage paid for the day you get the mortgage. You don't have to pay the Federal Reserve notes. It's already been paid. It's just a transfer of numbers in books. That's why I wanted to get that information. By the way, I get that guy's name anyway.
Oh, good.
Okay. For the comprehensive annual financial reports.
Oh, good.
Came to me accidentally. God's, I guess, in the play. As you know.
I guess so. Yeah. Amen.
So, I mean, Randy, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
It is in front of us, but we have to all know it at the same time so that we can move in it together. And all we have to do is just say no. If everybody in the country would know what's going on instead of the television stuff, they're hammering these people. I watch them in here all the time. They hammer these people. They're hammering the people in the street with this news media stuff, this sports stuff, this drug, sex, soccer, every single day, 24 hours a day, this stuff is going on. And people are falling right into it. Are we as a species that weak?
Yeah.
Are we that stupid? I mean, come on, guys. We got one group of people, the numbering probably, if anything, maybe a million overall, that's behind all of this. Come on. 7.5 billion people? And that's all we got for really, really super smart people is 1 million, and they're turning it all against us?
Yeah. It's very sad. It's very sad.
So what are we going to do? I sure in hell don't want to go to war, do you?
No, I don't want to, but I think at some point every man has to make his own decision on what line he will not allow to be crossed. You know.
Yeah, and they will.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah.
Sad.
You know, they're putting people in jail and they have fines if you don't wear that stupid mask they mandated by the governor. And
they can take the mask, you know. If they go back to their proper citizenship, they don't have to do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
That is the law. I'm trying to tell you, if they go back to this stuff, they don't have to. They don't get driver's license anymore. They don't do any of that stuff anymore. No more mortgage payments. No more identification cards. Nothing. There's another man you want to get. It's a bigger one. I can't afford it. It's way out of my price range. But it's called Redemption. Look it up. It's out of North Carolina. Redemption. That's the one. I got to go lock down.
okay. All right. We'll pray for your September the 29th, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. God bless. Bye-bye.
The caller has hung up.